I don't know what's going on. Is it live now? Yeah? Okay. We are back. We are back again with another live stream. I'm going to try a little daytime stream. Yeah, I was going to do the post-match reaction to the Wigan game last night, but decided to just do it in the morning just because I was a little bit tired yesterday and I had some stuff to do. But yeah, here we are. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm never going to do an intro ever again, by the way. That was just an absolute crap show. So, Arsenal 4, Wigan 0, through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Pretty good performance. I mean, I predicted a 3-1 win on my preview, but I'm really happy with the performance. A couple of things. Want to get into the starting lineups. Firstly, really feel sorry for Mars Lewis Skelly. Oi, big up Joe. Yeah, a little daytime stream. Just wanted to kind of talk about the Wigan game. I was a bit tired yesterday, and wanted to kind of just talk about it now. For why not? I don't know why I'm crackling all of a sudden. I'm just got a couple of technical difficulties I need to sort out. But yeah, man, pretty good performance. Want to talk about Lewis Skelly not getting into midfield. When Calafiori pulled up, I was fuming, man. I was really fuming because I was thinking to myself, man, Skelly's gonna have to go play left back now. That's really annoying. Okay, there we go. I think that's right. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, Skelly's gonna have to go and play left back, and I was just like, oh, I really want to see Skelly in midfield. Obviously, Saka came in the 10. We played Nørgaard in the 6 with 2 10s, which is something I've been saying. Against low opposition in the Premier League and low opposition in the Cups, I want to see Nørgaard in the 10. I want to see Rice rested. I'm really glad he didn't play Rice yesterday, because I think games like that, what's the point of playing Declan Rice when you've got Nørgaard there? We bought Nørgaard for what, 12 million for these type of situations, and I think he should start against Wolves as well. But anyway, so obviously getting to the first half, kind of want to do it a little bit differently. I kind of want to go through each individual performance and then talk about the overall performance, because the second half, nothing really happened. Gyökeres came on, we didn't score. Wigan had a couple of chances, but there were a couple of things I want to talk about in the second half as well, but mainly just going to focus on the first half. But big up to you, Joe, anyway. I think the performance in the first half was exactly what I expected. Like, that kind of reminded me of the Arsenal 22-23, taking teams to the sword, blitzing them quickly, and getting the job done in the first half, or getting it done within the first half an hour. Obviously, the star of the show, in my opinion. I mean, Nørgaard got man of the match, but for me, Eze was man of the match, man. For me, that's the type of Eze I want to see, the Palace Eze, not timid, getting on the ball, progressive passing, 2 assists. I think he had 100% pass accuracy or something like that. 2 big chances created. No, sorry, 3 big chances created in the first half. The link up between him, Saka, and Madueke was quality. Obviously, I want to talk about Saka playing in the 10 as well. Saka played in the 10. I think he had a half decent performance. I know people are hyping up like Saka in midfield, blah, 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 blah. But the thing for me is that I think you're going to see better performances with Saka in the 10, but the problem is that he wasn't fully fit. And you could see he wasn't really fully fit because there was a bit of match sharpness that I could see that was missing from Saka. And I think for me, you'll see that once he gets his fitness back, and I think Arteta said in the press conference that he'll play him in the 10 a little bit more. I would take that with a pinch of salt. I think Arteta chats rubbish when it comes to these kind of things. Like, he said things about Ranieri, and Ranieri's not even here anymore. Do you know what I mean? Saying that Ranieri will get opportunities, and his opportunities in France. So I'll take that with a pinch of salt. But it was nice to see Saka in midfield. I think Madueke had a really good game. I think he could be even man of the match potential, especially in the first half. He was absolutely skinning the right back. Amazing performance in the first half. Big up Joe again. Eze not getting man of the match is a disgrace in my opinion. Yeah, I think it was a bit harsh actually. I think it was a bit harsh. I think that was Eze's best game in an Arsenal shirt, but also I think that was Nørgaard's best game in an Arsenal shirt. And I was a bit annoyed to see Eze not get man of the match. I don't know how he didn't get it. I mean, got the 2 assists. Don't think he lost the ball. I don't think he even lost the ball once. And I think he was very progressive. I think he was aggressive. I think he slowed it down when he needed to. I think he upped the tempo when he needed to. And unlucky not to score. Had a good. He had that shot in the box where he took it, hits it with his left foot, goes for the near post, goes wide, and he had that shot where he kind of like spins and then like volleys it bottom corner, but the keeper gets a hand to it. The keeper was, in my opinion, you can even give the keeper, what was his name, Tickle? Yeah, their keeper Tickle, man of the match. He made some really, really good saves despite letting in 4 goals. I think he had a really, really good game, and it's funny. I didn't realize the commentator was saying that. Arsenal actually went in for him as well, which I didn't even know about that. But he's actually a pretty good keeper, and I think he'll definitely make it at the top level. I could easily see him playing for Spurs. I think I was watching Expression stream the other day, and he was saying that he's fed up of Vicario. So yeah, I mean he could be up next. You never know. Even Man United or trying to think what other big teams in the goalkeeper. I mean I think Ramsdale's washed now, so Newcastle might even take a look at him in the near time future. So yeah. Odegaard's days are numbered. Absolutely. I think if Xhaka plays well in the 10 and you've got Eze and you've got Havertz, I don't see a future for Odegaard. And when I think about the performances in terms of captain's performances from Rice and Gabriel, for me, he's redundant as a captain. For me, he's redundant as a playmaker. I think he's not aggressive enough. He's weak. And you know what? There's a video I'm going to post. I'm going to do a short later of something I saw on TikTok. I'm going to post it. And it was just basically Odegaard just being weak in the challenge, being a weak captain, running away from the ball, hiding. And there's a part in the clip where he's literally talking to where Rice is trying to find someone to pass to and he gets tackled and he looks at Odegaard and he just goes, "Where the F were you, bro? Where the F were you?" And I thought, wow, that's really, really telling, man. I think for me, Odegaard should really only be shouldn't be starting. I think he should be coming off the bench now. I think we're hearing rumors that he's going to Bayern Munich. I'm hearing rumors that he's going to Man United. And I think for me, it's time. We bought him for 30 million euros. If we can get a good little 50, 60 million for him, I'd be happy with that. We can use that money going towards getting a Morgan Rogers, going towards getting, my personal opinion, who I want on the left hand side. I really want a Matoma and a Leao. I want 2 proper left wingers, and I'll be looking to move on Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard in the near time future, which is either this summer or the next January transfer window. But I'll save that for another video. I want to talk about some of the other performances. I feel sorry for Lewis Skelly because I think Lewis Skelly actually had probably the worst player on the pitch. I think he was decent in the first half, some nice neat touches, got forward well, had a good shot in the first half where it just hit the crossbar and went over. But in the second half, he got absolutely cooked by that light-skinned guy. I think his name was I can't remember. It was that Brazilian, Australian guy. Let me just find his name quickly. Let me see. What was his name? Raphael. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this Raphael guy looks decent. But yeah, he was like, yeah, he's Brazilian. Grew up in Australia, but he's like, I think his nationality is from the Netherlands, so it's got a lot going on there. But yeah, I think he got sent to the shops a couple of times, and his recovery pace looked really, really poor. There was a point where Mascara had to come across and use his lightning pace to kind of cover for him. But I feel sorry for Lewis Skelly, man. He's just not a left back. He's just not a left back, and I think he got kind of shafted. Calafiori getting injured really made me think that in terms of moving players on in the summer, I'd be looking at moving on Calafiori. I'd be looking at moving on Odegaard. Be looking at the players on loan like Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, and stuff like that. And it's just like him getting injured stopped Skelly playing in midfield, and it's just such a shame. Obviously, it would have been a completely different game with Calafiori at left back and Lewis Skelly in midfield. But it was actually nice to see Saka in midfield as well. And I think his little link up with what's his name? His link up with Noni Madueke, Nigerian connection, I think was really, really good. Big up to you, Joe. Anyway, big up Abdul. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to start doing some more daytime streams now. I don't watch Serie A, but from what I've seen, the hours that he doesn't have end product. The thing is, I keep hearing this. I've looked at his statistics and stuff. But the thing is, I'm not really particularly bothered about that. The thing I really want, I want someone who has pace, power, and trickery and is a 1v1 demon. That's why I'd be looking at somebody like Matoma, looking at somebody like Liao. And I spoke to one of my good friends, Boring AFC. Shout out to Boring. He's a big fan of Gordon, but I'm not really a big fan of Gordon. I think Gordon is just English Martinelli with a bit more technique, but I personally don't really rate Anthony Gordon that highly. And I'm hearing rumors that he'd cost something in the region of 80 million. So I think Liao would be a cheap option. He'd probably be about between 50 and 60 million. I think he's a 1v1 demon. I think he's got the pace, power. I think he has a lot more to offer. And I think he's definitely an immediate upgrade on Martinelli and Trossard. But I'd be getting 2 left wingers anyway. I think that left-hand side has been dusty for way too long. But big up to you, Abdul, anyway. Big up, Blade. Let's go. Big up, Blade. Big up, Joe. How many times has Calafiori been injured in the warm-up this year? Quite a few. Bro, it's crazy. Like, Calafiori, I think he's been injured more than he's played this year. Like, he started well, got the goal against Man United, the header from the back post. And after that, I can't really remember anything significant he's really done. And since he's come back, he's still going back to like his last season form where he's like getting yellow cards, he's rash, he's grabbing. I don't know, man. I think, you know, he had that life-changing injury at 17. I think he nearly lost his leg or something. He recovered, became a professional, and now he's at Arsenal. I think when you have injuries like that, I just think you should try and steer clear from players. And we paid a lot of money for him. I think we paid nearly 40 million for him, like 37 million we paid for him euros, so like 33 million pounds. We paid a lot of money for a left back that at this point should be left back at home. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think with Calafiori, to be honest, I'd be looking at moving him and potentially Ben White on in the summer. Just don't think they're good enough for me. Big up to you, Joe. Big up Ike. Wigan took a dive. The goalie was. What are you talking about, mate? How was he taking a dive? The goalkeeper got absolutely sent to the shops. He had a really good performance. I think it could have easily been 6, 7, 8. But I think the goalkeeper was one of their best. I think the goalkeeper was their best player, mate. Big up Joe. Sign the Italian Tomiyasu. Yeah, bro. Like, this is the thing. We're in a situation now where I'm looking at Calafiori, I'm looking at Ben White, I'm looking at Havertz, and I'm just thinking to myself, these people they're not reliable. Like, they're not reliable. And I know Boring's going to hate me for saying this, but I'd be thinking about moving on Havertz as well. He's on nearly 290. He's on 290 grand a week, or 275, or 275 plus, something like that. Doesn't stay fit. Personally, never thought he was good enough. Never thought he was the right profile for the team. I think he's in the last couple of games he's had enough to offer, but because we've been so starved of progressive passing, it's making Havertz look like prime Ozil. But I'm not gonna fall for the hype. I know Havertz, like, his ceiling. I think he's already reached his ceiling with us, and I think I'm hearing rumors that he potentially could get signed by Bayern Munich. I'd let him go for as little as 30, 40 million. Get his wages off the book and looking at getting a Morgan Rogers, man. I'd be looking at really making serious upgrades. I'd be looking at the Alvarez's of the world, the Morgan Rogers of the world, the Liaos of the world, the Matomas of the world. I want a serious squad, especially if we come up shorts in the league or the Champions League. If we don't win one of the big boys this season, I'd be looking at making serious upgrades, including the manager as well. But big up to you, Joe. Big up, Johnny. I'm a gunner, but it's only Wigan. Yeah, but bro, at the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you. I think the performance was good. I think we played attacking football. I think Arteta experimented. Other than the injuries, I would say it was almost a perfect performance. You say it's only Wigan, but at the end of the day, Man United went out to Grimsby and they beat they nearly beat 5 Premier League teams in a row. So football's a funny sport. I don't think it's always a situation where, you know, just because you should beat a team on paper doesn't always happen. I mean, look, we saw it. It wasn't even a couple of months ago where Macclesfield Town beat Crystal Palace, 6th tier of football, beat a Premier League teams, the biggest upset in FA Cup history. This is what the FA Cup does. It brings unexpected results. And the fact of the matter is we had a good professional performance and we got through to the next round. I'm never going to be upset for Arsenal winning 4-0 against any team. We could have played Sutton United. We could have played Carshot and Athletic. I don't care. You know, 3 points or through to the next round is through to the next round as far as I'm concerned. But make sure you like and subscribe, hit the like button, and welcome to the channel, mate. Big up Joe. Shout out to everybody in chat. Smash the likes for the folks. Big up, Joe, man. Viewers are kind of like going up and down today. But the thing is, I want to say this, right? I think in terms of one thing I did like to see from Eze was his tempo control. So in the first half, I think he was very electric. He got the 2 assists, and I think he was shooting a lot more in the second half. And that, I think that performance is the performance that will give him confidence. Obviously, he had the confidence from the North London derby. Arteta needs to let the handbrake go a little bit now and say, listen, just go and do what you need to do. I think Eze's one of those players. He needs an arm around the shoulder, and he says, listen, forget about positions. You play in the middle. You drift left. You drift right. You do whatever you need to do. Get close to Gyökeres. Get close to Jesus or whoever's playing up front, and have fun. Just enjoy it. And I think that's the type of player Eze. I was going to say Ozil then. Eze is. So, oh yeah, that Wigan number 8. Let me see if I can find his name. What was his name? Callum Wright. Yeah, he was getting on my nerves, man. He was annoying, and there's midfielder as well. He was hacking a couple of players down and got on my nerves. I want to do the player ratings as well. I'm going to talk about the squad and some transfers a little bit, and then I'm going to wrap things up. I'm not going to stay live too long because I'm going to be doing an FA Cup live draw in the evening. So I'm going to be doing 2 streams today, and that probably might end up going for long as well. So because it's late night, so I'll probably end up doing a late night stream. So let me just take a look here. We'll talk about some injuries as well. So I'm going to go for the player ratings. Start with Kepa. Made a good save. I think it was against Taylor to deny Wigan taking the lead quite early on as well. Pretty much had a stress-free afternoon. He's, in my opinion, is a very good backup. Ben White, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. I think he didn't get forward as much as he'd want to do. Done a lot of running. Got injured in the second half and ultimately was replaced. 6 out of 10. William Saliba, 7 out of 10, recovered from, he had, an illness. That's why he was outside the squad. Pretty much looked on phase. Rolls Royce. Performance was as strong as his hairline, 7 out of 10. Christian Mascara didn't really have a lot to do, but when he was called upon, I think he dominated physically. I think his 1v1s, he was great. 96% pass accuracy. Came close to scoring as well. If it wasn't for a brilliant interception by one of the Wigan defenders to give him a free header. I think he deserved to get that goal, deserved to get on the score sheet yesterday. But ultimately, I think he had a really, really solid performance, 8 out of 10. Lewis Skelly, obviously, we wanted to see him in midfield, got denied that because of Callum Fury's injury in the warm-up. I think he was tidy in possession, beaten for pace once or twice by Rodriguez, got sent to the shops a couple of times as well, and hacked down Castillo. Gets booked in the second half, and his recovery pace didn't look well. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to give him a 5 out of 10. Nørgaard, brilliant ball over the top. I was calling him Andrea Nørgaard with those little pillow passes over the top, slowing down the tempo, and also speeding up the tempo when needed. Kind of doing the similar things to Eze, but I think he was really slowing the game down more, matching the pace to what he wanted to do. Was dictating really, really well. Got up and down the pitch. In the second half, when Ben White came off, slotted into centre back really, really well, which I think he's played centre back 3 times for us. I think the other one was against Prague in the Champions League in the second half. So yeah, I think he offers a lot of utility. I think Arteta needs to utilise him more. For me, 8 out of 10. Eze, in my opinion, man of the match, ran the show, 2 brilliant assists, took full advantage of the space, changed the tempo, was going short, was coming long, was doing intricate passes with doing triangles of Saka and Noni Madueke in the first half before Saka got hooked. His final passes and shots, I think they were pretty good. I think his shots was decent. I think he was a bit unlucky when he skipped around in the box and didn't get the shot off when it went wide with his left foot. I think he should have gone far post there, but it's fine. I think it would have been a 10 out of 10 if he capped it off with a goal. But in my opinion, 9 out of 10. My man of the match. I think he got robbed for not man of the match there. Saka, I think he had a decent little spell, caused the third goal for the own goal. I think he was still a bit laggy. I think he's still a bit tired. Still needs a bit more match sharpness. But he's going to obviously he needs to get back to his best now. I want to see Arteta play him central more and have Madueke on the right. I think it works well. Him, Eze, and Madueke. with the little Nigerian connection. I think it really, really works well. Once Saka's up to full fitness, I want to see that more, and it will help bench Odegaard as well. So for me, I give him a 6.5 out of 10. Madueke got the opening goal. I think he sent the right back to the shops many, many times. Miranda and 2 pieces of chicken and chip settings. I think he had a really, really good game. I want to see that Madueke more, but he needs to stop doing that thing where he just hits out of play. It gets on my nerves. He'll hit out of play and then score, but I think he's improving at Arsenal. I definitely think there's a player there. He definitely needs to if he improves his end product, I think he can take the right wing spot from Saka, in my opinion. But I think he had lots of fun. I wasn't really sure about why he had such a muted celebration, but I'm not going to complain. I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I think he was quiet in the second half and then hooked. Well, I wouldn't say hooked. Came off, substituted. Guys, give him an 8 out of 10. Gabby Jesus. One thing I will say about Gabriel Jesus that annoys me is he's offside a lot. He is offside a lot. I think if he stayed onside a lot more, he would score a lot more goals. I think he needs to be better with that. Got the goal. Beautiful little Brazilian-esque chip. Lovely finish. Lovely celebration. Some neat touches. I think he linked up well on the left. I think he created spaces for Gabriel Martinelli to kind of do little bits and pieces. Got the goal. 7 out of 10. Gabriel Martinelli scores again in the FA Cup. Loves the FA Cup all of a sudden. I think the second goal he scored, where Eze through balls it with his left foot. I think it was a really, really good finish. Wish he hits it first time with his left foot. Wish he freaking did that at Brentford, but here we are. I think he should have got another goal late on as well. Was it a header? Yeah, he should have been. I think he wasn't expecting and he had that one-on-one chance as well with the other light-skinned centre-back. I think he should have been. He wasn't expecting the player to be that quick, but I think he should have got his head up and laid off to Gyökeres. Gyökeres would have had an easy one-on-one. Give him a 7.5 out of 10. Got the goal. Gyökeres 6. Salmon 6. Nice neat touches. Trossard 6 again. Like neat touches. Zubimendi 6. Didn't really do anything. Tommy Setford came on. Just gave him a standard 5. Didn't really have enough time to really make a big impact on the game. Pick up K. Nice fun, bro. Nice thumbnail, bro. How did you make that? Wouldn't you like to know? No, it's just some tinkering. Just some tools. Some tools I found. Obviously I used my avatar as the baseline, and yeah, just some prompts and stuff like that. It wasn't really that hard, to be honest. Just kind of started it, and I just got one of these AI tools to kind of just add some elements to it, and then I just fixed it up. Really, it's nothing too complicated. Big up Joe. Refs without VAR this weekend were shocking. Yeah, man. I think there was a penalty in one of the games, and I just thought, wow. No, it was the Newcastle Aston Villa game when they got the free kick, and should have blatantly been a penalty. Should have blatantly been a penalty. I mean, Newcastle won the game in the end, but even still, they got absolutely robbed anyway. But they scored from the free kick anyway, so ultimately it doesn't really matter. But even still, I mean, what if they didn't? And what if they got 10 men and Aston Villa went on to win? This is the problem, man. Football's fine margins, and they can't be making silly mistakes like this. I mean, the referee has to see, the assistant, the fourth official has to see that and wave to the referee and be like, that was a blatant penalty. But we're here now, so it is what it is. I'm gonna do a Wolves preview tomorrow for the game on Wednesday. I'm predicting I don't really want to do score predictions too early, but I'm predicting that we do win that game. We need to bounce back. That draw away at Brentford, even though Brentford were a good side in their chase in Europe, I think that was unacceptable. I think it was such a lackluster performance. We need to go and get some serious points, people. We need to win trophies this season. We need to be in a situation where we are in all 4 competitions for as long as possible. We need to get players back from injury, and we need to be winning that Carabao Cup final on March 22nd, which I'm not sure whether I'm going to get tickets to that or not. I need to think about it, actually, but I'll probably do a live watch along for that game. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I'm out here, people. Hasta la próxima.